And then there's another thing. Let's add this real quick. I've been finally getting to test some of my cards. Been a very busy school year, having to work from home and getting my kids to school and picking one of them up right as school ends, which is not very fun. Kind of lose my lunch hour because I don't have a lunch hour, I don't get to test these things. But speaking of testing, I have been able to test this. This is a card I don't think I've shown y'all yet. And it is simply called More Than Meets the Eye. I like the premise, but when this happens, and it is a stratagem for Decepticons. I won't say it's broken, but I gotta work on it. So I'm not showing y'all this quite yet because I'm still working on it. During that little test, there were only 40 cards in each deck, and it was an unusual game, to say the least. And I'm so sorry, I can't breathe. But the amount of, testing a lot of these new action cards, I really didn't get to play many upgrades. And some of the location cards, and the way I'm playing that is where, player one can't really do anything. You draw a card and you can flip. I think you can do a tap action. And you can flip a character and then you attack. That's really about it. And then the second player on their turn can play only one card, can flip a card or a tap action and then attack. Well, then the third turn, when it comes back to the player one that went first, then the game really starts. With these location cards, I'm going to say that I'm debating on whether, since it's neither an action or an upgrade or a tap ability, that you can play a location card in one of the first turns, in addition to anything else. So you can do, when you start, you can either do draw a card, play an action, play an upgrade, play a location battlefield card, and I'm going to just go back to battlefield. I like the term battlefield. Get away from location from here on. So you can do draw a card, action card, equipment card, upgrade card, battlefield card, and then your attack. So in that, location cards can be played every turn, any turn, even if in the very first turn, to set up a premise of advantage, disadvantage, and that advantage, disadvantage is constantly changing. In my little test, I had a good many of these battlefield cards. Some really weren't that great, but at least it knocked out the opponent's one that was maybe a tough on the other opponent for a turn. So it's like, okay, this may not help me now, but at least it's going to stop this action for at least. So it played differently. It felt a little more engaging. I wouldn't call it chaotic. Now this card is a little off. I gotta fix this one. I'm gonna tell you the name of it. I don't think I've shown this yet. More Than Meets the Eye. I think I've already said that. But I want to make sure I get this one fixed. Like I said, it is a Decepticon card, and it won't take me 3 minutes to get it fixed. But the battlefield cards are interesting. I want to make some more of them and just keep them simple, because they are not in play the whole game like strategy cards are. They are like an action card and kind of like an upgrade, because it upgrades all your characters, or all the characters on the field actually, or certain characters with certain traits all on the field. So it's brings out a whole new umbrella of ideas. And I will say I'm not exactly following the color pip rules for some of my battlefield cards. I mean, I'm kind of trying to, but I haven't. And I will say I've made more blue pip cards than I have orange pip cards, oddly enough. But the battlefield cards, which is what they're going to be, I'm not going to rename the ones I've already done, because that's just too much ink. But from here on out, they're all battlefield, and they're all going to have a green pip on them, because that just it just makes things so engaging. Yes, I'm playing solo, but it makes the game so different, so engaging, and really keeping up with a lot of stuff. Because I put my Mega Honeyfly Burst, my Mega Caliburst deck up a group. I'll put group because it was almost a whole different deck up against the it was just melee Autobots. It was RC, Trax, and so they were all melee. And it was a deck that I had made for some other group, and I just started pretty much, doing this and just putting my own battle cards in over regular battle cards, and just see how it played out. Wow, it just changed the game to where you didn't know what was going to happen. Even though I created the decks, I made the match, I'm playing both sides. It was a lot to keep up with. I had 2 stratagems for the Autobots, and I actually, for Mega Caliburst, I took out Caliburst and put in Wave 1 Flame Ward, which left me 1 star. And I used a stratagem, which was this one, in there, and that's when I realized this doesn't quite work. But I still played it like I wanted to anyway. But it turned out pretty interesting, and the games went pretty quick. Some pretty big hits from certain characters I didn't expect. It was just really interesting. So hopefully, depending on certain days out of the week, I'll be able to maybe record one of these test games again, which I haven't done in a while. I might be able to do some at night, but I'll have to do a commentary over it. Gosh, the hummingbirds are everywhere. So we'll see what happens. I've already gone too long. I'm adding this to the first video, which was only 2 minutes. This has probably gone 6. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And as always, have a blessed day. My gosh, the days are beautiful. Life is too short to have angst against anybody. Go out, walk, talk with somebody, call up a friend. I was trying to get a hold of my cousin the other day. I was talking to my mother yesterday. Just things are more normal than you think they are. So enjoy life. Have a great day. And as always, flip out and let's roll for it.